What's up guys, it's Chris here. Now, as mankind, we have only been able to reach the level of civilization that we are at now because of our use of tools. As Homo sapiens, there's only so much that we can do with our eyes and our ears and our hands, and so we have only been able to do the incredible things that we have because of the tools that we have used. From stones to knives, from the wheel to motor cars, and all of the engineering, computers, and technology that has allowed us to dive to the bottom of the ocean and put a man on the moon. So it only makes sense that this would apply to the world of investing. Because there are only so many companies we can research in a day, only so many news articles we can read or YouTube videos we can watch, and if we had to analyze all of the company's financial results with a calculator, well, you get the idea. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 of the tools that I use daily in my own investing journey that help me to save time, get more information, or learn faster so that I can be the best possible investor I can be at all times. So let's get started. So welcome back to Casual Cash from another cold and snowy winter day here in New York City. No, wait, sorry, this is the city of Johannesburg in South Africa, but how crazy is it that it's been snowing here lately? Okay, so the goal of this channel is to help everyone watching to be the best possible investor that you can be, and I often get questions about how I value the stocks that I buy, or how do I know what dividends it pays, or where to find what dividends it will be paying, as well as how do I keep track of my stock portfolio, how do I track returns and income and values and growth and currencies, and in a broader sense, where do I get my information so that you can also be looking in those same places. So today we'll go through some of the basic tools that I use and show you where to find dividends, how to value stocks, the places I go to look at the financials of a company, including ETFs, where I find news on the companies I'm invested in, and the tools that I use to track my portfolio in detail. And best of all, every one of these tools is going to be completely free to use. So let's get started with number 1, which is the investment platform. Now, I've made a few videos about it, but I still get asked about what platform I use to invest and buy shares. This is a simple one. I use a platform called easyequities. In the past, I used to use F&B share investing, and I have tried a couple others, but I found them unnecessarily complicated and frankly quite expensive. At the time, my F&B share investing account was 80 Rand a month and had high trading fees, not to mention I found the platform was overcomplicated. Honestly, easyequities is the best platform I've used. Firstly, it's free and has no monthly fee, so you only pay as you transact. It's simple to find companies and buy and sell shares, and the transaction fees are really small and hardly make a dent. Here you can see if I was going to invest 100 Rand in Aspen, it would charge me just 34 cents. And lastly, it also has some basic portfolio tracking that will show you your total holdings, portfolio split, and the movement of the share price. I think a lot of you may already use it, but if you haven't used easyequities yet, there is a link in the description that will give you 50 Rand free to start investing once you've signed up. Okay, so next up in number 2 is dividends. Now, I get a lot of questions about this one because usually when you read about a share in the news or go to buy it on easyequities, it can be very hard to find the dividends that companies paying because it's not usually listed in many places. So you will want to know what percentage it pays, like for every 100 Rand, how many Rands will you get a year? And secondly, you might want to see what the dividend history of the company has been, and is it good or bad, and even better to be able to see what the next dividend is of the company, and when is the last date you can buy before you lose out on that dividend. So I have 2 tools I use for this. The first is Google Finance. This is a super quick way to get the dividend percentage of most companies. You just go to google.com/finance and you type in the company you are looking for. So let's say Standard Bank. You can type it in here and click on it, and right down here you can see the dividend yield. Now remember, whatever the percentage is how much you will get per 100 Rand invested. So if the dividend yield is 7%, every 100 Rand you invest will get you paid 7 Rand in dividends a year. But if you still want a bit more, the next dividend tool I use is called Morningstar. You can go to morningstar.com and search whatever company you're looking for. Here we have First Rand, and you can click on the dividends tab. Now this will show you a few things, but most importantly is the section below here. This will show you the exact dividends it has paid over many different years. Here it shows from 2019 to this year, and it will show you the exact rand amount paid for each share you own through its history, and it will also show you any special dividends is paid and if it has a dividend coming up. And lastly, it will also show you how much that will be, when it will be paid, and the last day you can invest in it to get that dividend. What I recommend that I have done is to save this page as a bookmark for each company you own so that you can always quickly come back to it. And then we have number 3, which to me is honestly the most important tool of all of them because it covers every single aspect of your investing journey, and the information that you get from here will single-handedly inform how you approach your investing in the short term and in time how you go forward to get the most out of your wealth building journey, and that tool is your portfolio tracker. Now, as the name suggests, this is a tool that tracks your investment portfolio, and because this tool is so important, for the last 6 months, I've been using what I find to be the best portfolio tracking tool out there, which is a site called Simply Wall Street that you might have heard me use a few times in our videos. Now, this site has tons of cool features and tools, but for today's video, I want to show you 2 things that have helped me in managing my portfolio and making sure that I'm making the right investments. So the first is its company overviews. Now, when I'm looking to buy a stock, or if I'm looking to value a company or get information about their dividends and financials or whether I think it is a good investment, I always look at the company overview page here. It's very simple. You can type in the company name, which can be a South African stock or American or UK or Euro. It has them all, and you click on it. Then you get a full breakdown of the company, from its health to its competitors, its share price performance, and its returns as an investment. And what's really helpful is it breaks down its financials into simple and easy to understand graphs and gives you full details on its dividends, like the amount, the history, and its future dividends. And last but not least, it breaks down the future of the company into forecasted growth and analyst predictions and whether the company is a good buy or not. So when I get questions about where I go to analyze a stock, these are always the pages that I go to before I make any investment. So with the free plan, you will always get a basic overview of the companies, but you can only get 5 full company analysis pages like this one that we saw now per month. But just for our casual cash viewers, I've arranged for a link in the description that if you click it to sign up for a free account, it will automatically upgrade you for 14 days to the full premium package that gives you unlimited company analysis page views during that time. And don't worry, when the 14 days ends, it just goes back to a normal 5 per month account. There are no charges or anything, so you can use that link to go nuts and have a look at all the analysis pages for any and every company you can think of, including the ones you already own shares in, just to get a better idea of how that company is doing or any companies you're thinking of investing in. So then the second part, which is the most important to me, is Simply Wall Street's portfolio tracker tool. Now, once you've got your free account, you can actually add your portfolio of shares and ETFs to Simply Wall Street, and it will give you a full analysis breakdown of your portfolio. So once you've made your account, you just click on Portfolios and New Portfolio, you name it and select ZAR, which is to see it in South African rands, and then click on Current Holdings and enter manually. Here you can then enter the company name you have and the number of shares you own, which is shown on easyequities, and click Create. It's pretty simple, but if you have any questions, let me know. The next part is the magic. This tool will give you a full analysis of your portfolio, including how much you've made by capital gain, which is how much your share prices have grown, how much dividend income your investments make altogether, and here is a cool one. It shows you the total return of your portfolio. Now, with easyequities, it will only show you your share price growth, and it doesn't factor in your dividend income or the growth you've made on currency from investing in other countries. The total return tool on Simply Wall Street includes both of those things to give you the total return of your portfolio. So if you invested 100 Rand and it grew to 110 Rand, that's 10% return. But if you also got paid 7 Rand in dividends that year, it will factor that in and show you your actual total investing return of 17%. Now, you have heard that I often talk about diversification, and this will give a full breakdown of how well your portfolio is diversified across multiple industries and how much volatility there is in the companies you own. And last but not least, it also gives an analysis about the future growth of your portfolio and how analysts expect it to grow in the future. Honestly, over the last 6 months, Simply Wall Street has been an incredibly valuable tool, so just remember the link in the description will give you 14 days unlimited access to all of its features, and after that it is always free to use. But if you do want to upgrade to one of the paid plans, signing up with that link will also give you a 40% discount for the first 100 people if and whenever you want to use it. Again, it's always free, but it doesn't hurt to have if you ever decide to use it. Then number 3 are the news outlets, because information is key and how quickly and accurately you get that information is just as important. So the first news page I want to talk about is Daily Investor. This is the great news source that covers every area of the market as well as the economic conditions of South Africa and countries around the world. And as the name suggests, it updates its news daily and has a great newsletter that sends everything straight to your inbox. Then we have MoneyWeb, another news source that is strictly South African but with international coverage, and it has what I have found to be very in-depth reporting that really focuses on the business and financial aspects. And lastly, although it seems a bit broad, is Google News, which gives you an overview of the top news stories locally and internationally. Now, the reason for this is because I think it's also good to know the broad movements of the world, because there are many different things that could affect your investments. From what I saw, investment sites were the last to report on the Ukraine war, but as we know, that is what has affected us the most. What I also find helpful is that Simply Wall Street will also send you emails with any updates on the companies that you invest in. So instead of broad news, they send you anything that directly relates to your investments, which is quite helpful. Now 4.5, a quick little tool is xe.com. If you need to convert currencies, this is probably the most accurate site there is and does all the currencies. Then number 5, the last tool on our list is something few people seem to know about, but it is incredibly helpful, especially when it comes to investing in ETFs. And if you're like me, you probably have quite a few ETFs in your portfolio. Now, most tools out there don't give much info on exchange traded funds, I think because they are constantly changing their shareholdings and dividends, but the last tool is the MDD or minimum disclosure document. If you want to know anything about an ETF, the fund manager is required to list a lot of helpful information in their minimum disclosure document, like this one here. They will have to show the ETF's size, value, historical performance, its last year's dividend payments, and quite importantly, I think, is the ETF's shareholding, such as its top 10 holdings. Now, that is not all there is. If you go through, there is a ton of helpful information, but I get a lot of comments asking where I get the details for ETFs, so you will have to search the name of the ETF and go to their official fund manager's page and look for where you can download or view the MDD, and that is where you will get all of your information. And guys, that is it for today's episode, where we go through my top 5 tools that I use to be a better, more knowledgeable, and more efficient investor. Remember, if you want to sign up for your free account with Simply Wall Street, you can find the link in the description to claim your always free 14-day premium membership. If I can ask you to please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. But until then, I'll see you guys next time, as always, on Casual Cash. Cheers.